Hello everyone, this is already the final part about knitting the bunny hat. You are in the InStyle Knitting Studio. Now we are going to knit the ears that are on top. I have already knitted one. My length turned out to be 18 centimeters, and the width is about 7.5 to 8 centimeters. Let's knit it. Let's decide what length of ear you want. I have 18 centimeters. We subtract 4 centimeters. We will have 4 rows, respectively, 1 centimeter for each row. Here, we have 4, subtract it, and here we have 4. So, 18 minus 4 centimeters and minus 4 centimeters. This gives us 10 centimeters. We need to cast on a chain of air stitches that is 10 centimeters. I will tell you right away that the chain in centimeters should be a little less since the fabric will stretch later. That means I will cast on a chain about 9 centimeters long. I have cast on a chain 22 air stitches. This is about 9 centimeters, even a little less. Next, we knit 2 air stitches and the third stitch. This will be our first column. 3 air stitches, right. Then we go to the fourth stitch. From the hook, we knit the second column with a yarn over. We have knitted the second column. We knit 19 more columns with a yarn over. We have 1 stitch left here. In it, we knit 4 columns with a yarn over. Next, 2 air stitches. Again, 4 columns with a yarn over. This is all into the central stitch. We finished knitting. After this, from the other side, this side, we will knit 20 columns with a yarn over. We finished. Next, we need to knit the same thing that we knitted into this outer stitch. That is, 4 double crochets, 2 chain stitches, 4 double crochets. So, we will crochet all of this into this stitch. Thus, from 3 chain stitches, we will work into the bottom chain stitch. Four double crochets, 2 chain stitches, and 4 double crochets into the same stitch. Done. Next, we connect the round. I constantly connect the round. It results in the second double crochet of this round. Not in the chain stitch, but at the top of the second double crochet. We make a slip stitch. That is into our first worked one. We connected the round, moving on to the second round. 2 chain stitches for rising. Next, we crochet 24 double crochets. I crocheted the first double crochet right here under the chain stitches. Effectively, this becomes our second double crochet. In total, there should be 25 double crochets here. That is the rising stitches plus 24 double crochets. Done. We've reached our little arch here. Into the arch, we crochet 2 double crochets. Next, 2 chain stitches and again 2 double crochets into our arch. Done. After that, we crochet 28 double crochets. The first double crochet right here immediately. Here it is, the top of the previous row's double crochet. That's it, we crochet 28 double crochets. We have already approached our second arch. Here, we also crochet 2 double crochets into the arch. 2 chain stitches and 2 double crochets. And after that, we crochet 4 more double crochets to the end of our row. We made a slip stitch in our first worked one. At the top, not in the chain stitch, but at the top of the first worked double crochet. The second row is finished. 2 chains for the transition to the third row. Next, we crochet another 26 double crochets. In total, including the chains, we will have 27 double crochets. Next, we crochet 2 double crochets into the arch, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. After this, we crochet another 32 double crochets. We've reached the next arch. Into the arch we crochet again 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. After this, we crochet another 6 double crochets. The first slip stitch is completed, or into the second double crochet of this row. We move on to the 4th row. In the 4th row, we tie 2 chains. This is our first double crochet, and we crochet another 28 double crochets. The first double crochet is done. As usual, I crochet under the chains. This is the first of the 28 completed. Including the chains, there should be 29 double crochets. Into the arch we crochet already 6 double crochets. Next, we crocheted another 36 double crochets. We reached the next arch. Into it, we also crochet 6 double crochets. And here, we will also crochet 8 regular double crochets. And as usual, a slip stitch to the top of the first completed. One chain stitch. We pull the yarn, cut it, and hide the ends. The ear is tied. Here's the principle. We crochet the same number of double crochets on one side and the same on the other. In the first row we crochet 4 double crochets, 2 chains, 4 double crochets, also on the opposite side. And in the following rows, we knit 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches, and 2 double crochets. This is done here as well. In the last row, we work 6 double crochets into the central stitch to avoid having holes here. The principle is the same. If you have a different number of double crochets, I think it won't be difficult to knit such an ear. Now, we just need to sew the fleece here on the inside. This hat of mine is a little bigger. I knitted it for a head circumference of 49 centimeters. Accordingly, the diameter here is 15.6, and I knitted not 6 rows for the bottom, but 7 rows. And 2 rows with 6 increases. The 8th and 9th rows also had 6 increases. As a result, in the 9th row, I had 96 double crochets. This hat of mine is bigger. Accordingly, the ear I made was a bit larger. Here, I have 21 centimeters in ear length, and the width is roughly the same. So, I initially made a chain of 13 centimeters, not 10, but 13 was my original chain here. This amounted to 29 chain stitches. This is just a rough guide in case anyone needs it. This hat is for 4-year-olds. The yarn was approximately the same thickness. Now we cut the fleece. How did I do it? I already attached one ear. I took the ready-made ear that I knitted. I placed the fleece on top of the ear and traced around it with a pen or pencil. Accordingly, I got a piece that matched the ear itself. After that, I trimmed the edges a bit, about 1/2 centimeter. This was so that the fleece ear would be a little smaller. And what was smaller needed to match the size of the ear. Because when I traced and cut it out, it turned out a bit larger. In general, you need to get a piece of fleece that is about the same size as the ear itself. After that, I will show how I sew the fleece. So, we place the inside of the ear facing us. Take the side you like more, on the front side. We place this as our face. And this face, yes. How do we do it? a regular thread with a needle. We tie a knot now, like I was sewing. I roughly started from the middle of the ear. We insert the needle from the back to the front, so the knot is underneath. Next, we attach the fleece to the ear. It should be. And we check, opposite which post our thread comes out. In that post, we insert the thread. We will catch it at the middle of the last row. Here is my post. To the middle like this. So that nothing is visible there, we only look at the nearest threads. From left to right we pull the thread. After that, opposite the thread from where it is coming out, I insert the fleece from the top. Here, we leave a small distance. This is how I do it. I pull the thread and immediately fold it slightly there. I tighten. We will sew in such a way that we slightly fold the edge. So it looks like this. After that, opposite the place where the thread came out, we look for the middle of the post. From right to left, we poke the needle. We pull the thread. And immediately check that the edge is folded slightly, now opposite the thread, from where it comes out. The fleece from top to bottom like this. We insert it. Right there, we fold it. And opposite the thread, we look for the post. We insert the needle into the center of the stitch. We pull the thread, then we immediately look for the fleece right under the thread. This is how I place it on my finger, demonstratively. And next to the thread I insert the needle. And I bring it out approximately like this. Here, we can leave half a centimeter a bit more. We retreat. We tighten. Next, we look for the stitch opposite the thread. And we catch it in the center. Opposite the fleece, we insert the needle here from top to bottom. We do not pull too tightly here, we check for good tension. I am almost getting it right. I insert the needle into each stitch, sometimes only through every other stitch. That is, we catch either the stitch or like this from above. Opposite the stitch, into the fleece. In this way, we sew on the entire ear. Well, that's it. We've got these ears. Now we just need to attach them to the hat. I have already sewn one on. Look, now I'll show where to sew things on according to the stitches. We take a thread of the same color. I sew with 2 threads. We tie a knot. The needle has a wide eye, so I insert from below. Here is the second and third row. I will sew the ear to them. I check that it is at the center of the hat. And I insert into the second stitch. But I will probably take it a bit closer to the face. Well, closer to here, I'm fastening the pillar myself. To keep our knot from popping out. That's it. We've brought it to the front. Next, we take the ear, we fold it in half. And I'm inserting the needle into one loop, and nearby into the second. Next, I take it close by, I'm inserting it here. And nearby, into the next loop. Just like that. And I'm sewing it a bit lower. Well, this is how I sew it on. So, on this side, 4 loops will go to attach to 2 rows of the hat. And this way, we sew it on. We're starting to sew closer to the front, so that the ears kind of stick out. Just look. Approximately 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. We have sewn. Next, I'm not sewing both sides. Next, I'm sewing only the bottom side of the hat, both sides of the ear, yes. We sew along 2 rows. The second and the third, and for about 5 rows, I sew only the bottom side of the ear. And I'm orienting myself like this, so that, well, I'm positioning the ear, this lower part, so that my seam, when I'm sewing the lower part of the ear, yes, goes about at this angle. All this way, we sew it on, and then hide all the threads. You see, I'm only catching the bottom side of the ear and sewing it to the hat. I'm almost done sewing. I want to point out that Look, as I said, I sewed both parts of the ear along 2 rows, the second and the third, and then, for about 5 rows, I sewed one side. So, on the last row, when I was sewing this side, yes, on the last row, I positioned the ear like this. I turned it back a bit a couple of times, caught it by the ear, and on the last row, just went through horizontally sewing the ear like this. Alright, thus we attach the ears and hide the ends. So, we embroider our eyelashes. I have missed 7 rows at the bottom. The 8th and 9th rows are the height. These will be my eyelashes. I have already embroidered one eye. Look, it's 2 rows high and in width. Here are approximately 10 columns. Here is the semicircle. Between the eyes there are about 6 or 7 columns. You look at your hats. You have different sizes, it may vary. I have fixed the knot on the back side so that it doesn't slip. And now, I will bring the thread from the back to the front. Initially, for the first eye, I oriented myself by finding the center, counting 3 columns from the center, and starting to embroider the eye. Here I am already counting 6 columns from the beginning of the eye to start my second eye, right. But I am inserting the needle 1 step ahead. You will understand now what I am doing here. I brought it out here, right. And now, I am going back to the start of my eye, right here. After that, I will immediately bring it out to the next step. Right here. Do not pull it too tight. I will now go back and come out 1 step ahead. Next, we insert the needle here and bring it out in the next place, right here. Let's go back. This is approximately how it looks. Now we will embroider the eyelashes themselves. Having made one eye, you symmetrically look and do the second the same way. That's it. Our eyelashes are embroidered. Now we will embroider the nose. I will embroider the nose, stepping down 4 rows from the bottom and 2 rows from the eyes. On the third, I take the center, fix the thread on the back side, and bring it out in the center between the eyes. To the front side, from the bottom, I will insert into the same place, right here. And on top, at these 3 dots, I will inject. So that we end up with a little nose. Subtitle, Editor N. Zakomoldina Proofreader, A. Yegorova. It should turn out like this. That's it, friends, all the threads. We hide everything. We hide everything and we have this little bunny. We still need to make a bow right here, sew it on. We cut out an oval from fleece like this. Any shape can work, really, even a rectangle. Then, the bow will have a different shape. Its size is about 10 by 6. We take a double thread of the same color, pink. We fold the bow like this. By the way, we can fix it with a regular thread. Just go over it a little bit like this. And then we simply sew it here. I won't show how I do it anymore because it's really simple. Well, here's how it turned out for me, on one side and on the other. Here at the bottom, I sewed it with a regular white sewing thread. To prevent my bow from sticking out too much, that's it, friends. We have knitted this little bunny hat. I already knitted a second hat. My first hat is bigger, a little lighter, while the second is darker. These 2 hats will go to 2 sisters. So, friends, knit with joy for your dear ones, for your children. I hope I was helpful to you. If anyone is not subscribed, please subscribe because soon I will release the next masterclass on knitting a squirrel hat. So, give likes, subscribe, friends, and see you soon in the next masterclass. Goodbye, everyone.